Israel said they committed the bombing in Damascus 4 was because they discovered that the building.
So Piers Morgan's been making some waves lately, trying to make sense of why Israel decided to bomb the Iranian embassy in Damascus. And get this, he's basically echoing some pretty wild claims from the Israeli side. Let's take a closer look at what he's saying. In fact, he even had a chat with an Iranian professor about it a few days back. So grab your popcorn, because we're diving into Piers's take on things. Let's see if it holds up to scrutiny.
Said they committed the bombing in Damascus 4 was because they discovered that the building was diplomatic in name only and being used as an Iranian military and intelligence base, hence the presence of all these generals, two of whom were killed, along with all the others there. So if it was being used as a military base and they were training Hezbollah, which is what they believed they were doing, then it was a legitimate target, wasn't it?
Now let's turn our attention to Scott Ritter, a distinguished former U.S. Marine and UN weapons inspector, renowned for his insightful perspectives. In the midst of Piers Morgan's narrative, Scott Ritter emerges as a voice of reason, offering a counterbalance to the sensationalism. With his wealth of experience and expertise, Ritter brings a grounded and nuanced analysis to the discussion. It's a refreshing change of pace from the bombardment of sensationalist rhetoric, as Ritter's measured responses provide much-needed clarity amidst the chaos of misinformation.
Piers, you moron. Every American embassy and British embassy in the entire world, therefore, is a legitimate military target. Because guess what? We have a defense attaché office that hosts meetings there where they plan military operations against neighbors all the time. You literally just made the U.S. embassy and the British embassy in Kiev, Ukraine, a legitimate target. Because right now, as we speak, the British and Americans have delegations, intelligence and military, inside there working with Ukrainians to plan attacks against the Russians. So with your genius analysis, you just said it's okay for Russia to blow up the American embassy and the British embassy because they're doing things that could be deemed as hostile by. Piers Morgan is a moron, but we've known that for some time now. So is almost everybody else in the mainstream media. The Americans don't understand how important it is to have diplomatic inviolability, protection. Because once you lose that, every embassy becomes a target. And while they may be doing things inside that embassy, hint, hint, if there's a CIA station, they're doing things you don't want them to do. China knows this. I mean, China's a grown-up country. They know inside the American embassy in Beijing, the CIA is plotting to do horrible things to the Chinese. Espionage, bring the Uyghurs up, all this stuff. They don't bomb the U.S. embassy. They don't bomb it in neighboring countries where we work with people to go into China and do stuff. It's the real world. And China's doing the same thing to us. Okay, I'm not going to pretend that Chinese don't have an intelligence service. I'm not going to pretend that the intelligence service of China isn't actively conspiring against the United States. I don't think they do the military thing where they're trying to foment unrest and revolution. But they're spying, of course they are. That's the second oldest profession. The first oldest is prostitution, the American-Israeli relationship. But the point is that America didn't pick up on the niceties. We don't understand the complexity. All we know is Iran attacked Israel, and it was very expensive, and it was overwhelming, and Israel's screaming bloody murder, and suddenly we're holding on to the aid that Israel says it needs.
Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more updates. Catch you in the next one.
Because guess what? We have a defense attaché office that hosts meetings there where they plan military operations.